Okay. So if you're watching this video, then you're watching the demonstration on how to do a tree drawing. All right. So when you begin your tree drawing, just a couple things you don't want to do with the tree. Okay. I don't want to see any drawings like this where it's basically you just draw a box here, um, and then you do some squiggly lines. Okay, and then that's your tree. Okay, I want you to do a little bit more than this. Okay, so I really want you to take your time to draw trees. It's actually one of my favorite things to draw because there's almost like no right or wrong way of drawing a tree. As long as you take your time, your tree should look nice. Okay, but the best way to start with the tree drawing or how to draw the tree like this is same thing you want to do like before. You want to start with the trunks. You can just do two parallel lines here. And one important thing you want to think about in terms of like drawing trees is don't think about like flat shapes, but think about like the 3D form of the tree. So what I like to do sometimes is I like to kind of like round out the edges, and you can do this very lightly with the pencil, but this gives you an idea of like the 3D form of the tree. So it's kind of like important to like draw like this cylinder for like parts of the tree where you want to kind of like expand it a little bit further. So as you're going down further in the tree, and I'm just gonna have like a line right here to kind of like separate the ground of the tree, like the ground from the sky, your horizon line. And basically, I'm just gonna have like these ovals, like in certain parts. I'm adding like an oval here, another oval there, and this is gonna be like where the end of the oval is. So, this kind of gives me like an idea of like, how I'm going to add the branches of the tree. And usually, the way that trees work is it'll get a little bit thicker on the end of it, and then it gets thinner as it goes out. So just a couple of things to keep in mind of it. I'm just gonna add like a couple ovals here, just like separate the tree. So basically, you just add these ovals, and then you just draw out the tree the way that you want it. And then if you wanted to, you can actually add some more ovals to other parts. And like one nice little detail about the trees, though, is the little branches that break apart. And then if you wanted to, you could do like little thin lines for like the really thin parts. But that's really the trick with drawing trees is just making sure to kind of like build up what you're drawing. Try to go in like as many different directions as you can. And that's how you basically complete the tree. So you can do it like in different angles. It doesn't have to be like in one direction. You can just keep going different places. And, once it gets to like a certain part of like the thinness, you don't have to really draw the ovals, but I would just draw like branches that kind of like um, break them apart. So zoom in a little bit closer, and draw some more branches over here. So again, I like doing these little ovals just because it gives me like a direction of like how I'm going to um, move these branches. All right. And then you do the same thing as you go to the top. So I'm going to do 1, 2 here. Maybe I do like a one going horizontal too. That might be interesting. Drawing the tree. Oops. Let me just draw the ovals ahead of time. Again, you can draw any way that you like. You know, if you want to add like a lot of branches, you can, or just add some like, you know, less branches. I'm only gonna add like two here just to show you like, you know, still looks effective with just two. Another one here. But you get the idea though. So, you know, once you've drawn your tree, you know, you can kind of like go over the lines, you know, make them a little bit darker, go into detail. So if you want to go into detail, you can actually erase these ovals that you did. You know, ovals are just there to just kind of like help you to draw it out. But you know, some of these ovals that you want to follow, you can actually use as part of the drawing. So you know when you go into details, you know trees they have like these nice little textures on the bark. You know, if you want to, you can actually you know use those lines to follow the details, especially like in the parts where like it starts to separate the tree. It's like right here, I'm just drawing this out a little bit more. You know, if you wanted to, you can actually use those circles to give the tree uh, a little bit more 3D form to it. But you kind of get the idea, though. You know, just add more detail to it, and you know, just draw out the tree a little bit darker here. And you can see how that tree is starting to come together a little bit more. But you know, you look at the example I had before. Oops, find it. Well, I'll go back to the picture I had before. The Google Slides. But you see like how you know like those parts where I have like the circles. I still have them in the original drawing, but you can see how like I'm using those to add more um, details to the tree. So you know, do you use those ovals as part of like your um, details that kind of like give it like that round form of the tree? You know, you can use that as part of your sketch and just you know add more line weight to it to you know create the tree drawing.